Hey guys, my name is Nick and welcome to Watch This Now. There's a little movie called The Hunt coming out next week, which you may have heard of. No, you haven't? You haven't heard of The Hunt? Yeah, that's exactly the problem. So today I want to be talking about a new horror, thriller, political comedy. We'll see what ends up happening with this movie, but I want to talk about it because being the horror fan that I am, I also just happen to track movies that have a lot of controversy surrounding them, because you may know that a bunch of horror films have that. But I want to talk about The Hunt because this movie was supposed to come out last year at the end of September 2019, but it was shifted to the month of March. So I want to talk about that and why you should support it. Backstory time. So, back in the summer, as soon as this movie was starting to be promoted, we ended up having those back-to-back mass shootings in America in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. People at the time were just really shaken, and a movie about people being hunted just did not seem to be the most appealing film to be coming out at that time. And I personally think that just like ethically, it was the right decision to move the release date. Also, it was just a good business decision because it was supposed to come out like the week before Joker, and like Joker had the whole controversial movie thing all like locked up. Like no one was really worried about anything but Joker at the time. So I really think that it was a good move to shift The Hunt to 2020. But my problem with it is now they just started marketing it like a couple of weeks ago and it comes out March 13th. Like they've only really been remarketing it again like a month leading up to its release. Like most movies have at least 2 to 3 months of marketing, if not more, before the release date. And it's just unfortunate because I think that Universal Pictures saw the controversy surrounding it last year and they were like, we don't really want to deal with this again. And a lot of the marketing right now is based around the fact that it's the most controversial film of the year and no one has even seen it. And I do want to talk about the content of this movie. Of course, we're going to get into that. But I just think that Universal, they placed the release date, in between their own movie, The Invisible Man, and the release of A Quiet Place 2. Two of the biggest horror films of 2020, and I just feel like they're kind of trying to bury it. And because of that, I feel compelled to support this movie, which is why I think everyone else should too, because hey, when they take movies away from us, we only want them more. And now that it is coming out, I feel like if it isn't a success, then studios might not actually release these types of movies that gain the controversy. They might just be dumped onto streaming services, or thrown onto Blu-ray, or left on the shelf forever. And I just think that's a bummer because you have all of these people who put plenty of work into making a good movie, and then it's just kind of lost because some people thought that maybe it would be something that it isn't. I just think that that's crap. I think we should go see it, make up our minds about what it actually is, how we feel about it, and then we can go from there. If you see it and you don't like it, you hate it, then you can hate it. If you see it and you like it, then you should feel okay liking it. With all of that being said, I do want to talk about the plot of this movie a little bit because we can tell from their new marketing campaign, they've shifted the focus of what it's supposed to look like. I think they're really trying to appease those people that were really freaked out about it still. And so if you don't want to know anything about this movie, or if you don't want to hear what I think is probably definitely a spoiler, it was already spoiled for me, so I'm kind of bummed, but also I now want to talk about it. So if you don't want to, feel free to get out of here, just go see The Hunt. But I do want to talk about this because in the old trailers from last year, what we were seeing was a group of people who sort of wake up in this situation where they're being hunted and they have to run and fight for their lives. In these new trailers that we're seeing, it looks as though Hilary Swank's character is being interviewed after the fact, and then we're looking at the situation that happens. And this is what I think is the spoiler, so if you haven't managed to click off, I'm so sorry this is happening now. What it looks like is that this isn't just a simple most dangerous game style story. It looks like these people are placed into a situation where they believe this hunt is happening, even though the people that are conducting it are actually really pulling the strings, making them think that they are being hunted by people, but really it's more of an experiment to see how these people react in that situation. I wish that wasn't spoiled in the trailers. I wish we got to that just on our own viewing the film. I really wish marketing wouldn't, true and everything all the time, but I like this idea. I think this is going to have something deeper and more meaningful. I mean, sure, it also looks like it's going to have plenty of violence. I mean, it's right there in the rating, but I think there's going to be some interesting themes behind it, because what it initially looked like was a left versus right battle royale of sorts. Not really, more of just a most dangerous game hunt, but you know what I mean. A very Hunger Gamesy, just like bloodthirsty, violent type of film, when in actuality it seems as though this is really a movie about manipulation and how these people, I think on both sides, I'm going to make the both sides argument here, are manipulated by their surroundings. My prediction is that this is going to be a dark satire with commentary on media and how outside forces influence our own opinions and actions. And that's something that I think is really important for both sides, for everyone. We can all be manipulated into believing that outside forces are causing us to think something is true, or this is misinformation, or this is made up by the Russians, or whatever. And I think that's actually really interesting subject matter to explore in a down and dirty grindhouse horror film. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you think about this movie, what you think about everything surrounding it, and whether or not you are planning to see The Hunt on March 13th. It's a Friday the 13th horror film release. That's always fun, so I'm wondering who's actually going to see it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you like, share it with your friends, subscribe to watch this now. And that's it. That's all the videos. There's no more for you to watch. That's it. The end. Sorry.